Hey y'all. Yeah. Go on in here. We're gonna get started shortly. Hey, everybody. Everybody come on in the room. Oh, all the way from California. Hey, Fernanda. Hey. Hey. Wait, did we go to high school together? Yes. Hey. I be following, like I follow everybody from high school. Sierra, Reverend Chandler. So I'm sitting here admittedly, we're gonna get started shortly. I'm gonna invite y'all like this. See, this is the merch. Yes. Okay. First of all, let me stay on topic. Seaton 2014. Absolutely. You know, I be following everybody. We gotta stay connected. Like I feel like we need a reunion or something, or I don't know. Also, just a disclaimer, house rules. Somebody asked me today, did I cut my hair? I did not cut my hair. I recorded a video for ministry, and I sent it to one of my friends um, that shall not be named. And they asked me, did I get a shortcut? And I'm like, that's so embarrassing. No, I did not. My hair is in a ponytail. So, we're going to get started shortly. So just so y'all know what this live is about, it's going to be about friendship. It's going to be about fun. It's going to be about so much stuff, but I'm inviting my good friend Taylor on. And so many people always ask me about the dynamics of ministry and how we do the business side and how we handle all the books and all of that. And Taylor does that for me. And she's really good at it. But beyond her doing that, there's so much more to her. She's doing business. She just graduated from Hampton. She's like really overly qualified to do what she does, actually. As it pertains to the ministry side, she's like overly super qualified. So I'm going to invite her in a second, just so that y'all know that's what this is about. But back to this shirt. So somebody said this shirt was tough. I never put this design out there just because I didn't know. I don't know why I didn't put this design out there. Maybe I should. Do y'all want to see this on there? Let me know. Just let me know under there. Oh, okay, so everybody likes this shirt that I haven't put on my site. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, by the time we get off this live, it's going to be on there. And you got the Jude 1-3 on the side. All right. I've had this shirt literally, I think this is probably the first time I've worn it. And I've had it for not over a year, probably actually over a year. Okay, so if I put the shirt up there, y'all better fool with the shirt, okay? No pressure. I'm just saying. So, yeah, so I did a ministry video that I'm actually getting ready to send. We're always working, right? That I'm about to send to Taylor right now as I ask her to get on this live. So I want y'all to come in here because, let me make sure I'm sending this to the right person, diamondjgantt.com. There we go. diamondjgantt@gmail.com. Yeah, we're always working. Video. She can send it. If you're watching, the person who this video is going to, the video is on the way. Miss Erica J. Now everybody need to go get slayed by Miss Erica J. You need to go get your hair done. I need to go too. I'm trying to give my hair a break. Everybody need to follow her and go get your hair done. I love you, Erica. And she also makes the best spaghetti like ever. I mean ever. It's amazing. It's actually great. Use meal drop. Okay. So I can't invite Taylor on the live without doing what I needed to do before I invited her. About to invite you on. This is how our lives go. About to invite you on. Also just sent you the email that I need you to email when you get a chance. No rush. That's number one. First of all, if somebody is doing something for you, you can't be super bossy and micromanage. But sometimes stuff has to get done. It just does. And so that's how we work. But for all you who just joined, everybody loves this shirt. This shirt that I have not put on my site, but I've had for over a year. Everybody's talking about it. Oh, my bean. I'm coming to get my beans. I can't wait. Now, let me tell y'all. So, it's something about Erica cooking because, first of all, she not only cooks, right? It's like she cooks, and then I think about the stuff that she's cooked for like weeks after she cooks it. That's when you know the food is good. So, I'm excited. Her and Marissa actually be like whole chefs out here. They're amazing. But yes, this shirt is going on my site. Since y'all like it, I never thought to put it on there, but I do have new merchandise that's on there that I want you to go check out. Now, I'm not, see, here's the thing. I refuse to put it up on the store. I refuse to put the picture because I want y'all to go see it on my website, diamondjgantt.com. And you can go see that new product, which is not this. This is not it. This is an exclusive. It's exclusive. It's exclusive. I thought about doing a pop-up shop, like a quarantine pop-up shop. I don't know. Should I do that? I got so many ideas, y'all. Yeah, so I'm about to invite Taylor on, and I think this should be good because we don't have any notes. We don't have anything specific. We're just about to like talk, and I think it's gonna get really good. But I need her to join this live so I can Sierra, I love you. I love you. Or I'm gonna tell her request to be on. This is storefront. Welcome to my storefront. Yes, do it. What? Do what? Oh, do talk through it or put this shirt up? Which one? Be specific. Josh, I love you. I love you, Josh. I got all this Hampton greatness on here. I feel pressure to produce greatness. Whoa. My friend just sent me something crazy. Oh, now that you're on, I'll just it should let me. Oh, this is weird. Y'all stay with me. Here we go. Request. I don't know why it's not allowing me to. Wait, I just sent you the live. That was actually hecka dumb. That was actually really dumb. That was very dumb. Okay. Let me say something. Oh, there we go. Request. Everybody, welcome to the stage. This is the guest of the hour, the woman of God. I'm done. That was, I kind of miss church. Anybody out there miss going to church, even though we're not going back because it's not safe? Tyler!
Let me get my ring light. Oh, I look crazy. My hair looks a mess. Oh,
Welcome,
how's this work? Let me get my ring light on.
Oh, get yourself together. Take your time.
I'm about to put on a hat because my hair look crazy.
Girl, before you got on, I told the people that someone asked me, did I get a shortcut? Someone who shall remain nameless.
Uh-oh.
So basically the video, hey, Thaddeus Douglas, hey. The video I just sent you, which by the way, you can send that whenever you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to somebody for review, and they basically asked me, did I get a haircut? And I said,
oh no. Uh-oh.
I said,
there we go. I still look crazy, but it's better.
Oh yeah, Mike, send the eyes. Did I get a haircut, Mike? Sending signals, haircut. I'm not there in my industry life yet.
Yikes.
Okay, that was super ignorant.
Insider.
Right, insider. Taylor, I'm so excited to have you on. I told them before you got here, first of all, I spoke very highly of you, and I told them that you're a graduate of Hampton, and
yes, a graduate.
You're this woman, and she's sitting on stacks, $100,000, and
Listen, Diamond
I can do anything. I can do baby hair. I might not be able to blow dry and flat iron, but I can do the baby hair.
Diamond just asked me to get on here. That's why my hair look crazy. I didn't have enough time to do something to it. But it's all right.
you. I hope that's Hampton, because that's the only
Right,
thing that belongs
right.
in this live. Yeah,
Shut
so
up,
back
Ely.
to introducing Taylor. Right. So she's sitting on 100 grand. She got, shout out to all the endeavors that she's doing. And I said that we were going to talk about all kind of stuff tonight. I mean, we don't have a layout. We're just going to kind of talk through it. So Taylor helps me with the ministry stuff. So everybody
Yep.
always asks me, all your stuff is always sent with excellence. And, you're always, oh, wait, Howard, no.
How do we block this
I
man
rebuke.
of God right here? We
Welcome,
need to
but I
block this man of God right here.
no, Howard's an excellent school. But yeah, so always people always say, I had no problems with, quote unquote booking you and getting your ministry stuff done. And oftentimes when I show up to preach, they ask, where's Taylor? Because they have fallen in love
Uh,
with Taylor more than me. So, and then I also told them, Taylor, that you are like overly qualified to do this work, and like
oh
one day
God,
I have to pay you like millions because
no.
you have a degree now and everything. So, we pay for degrees around these parts.
Listen.
Okay? So yeah. So we don't have a script or anything like that. We're just
Yeah.
talking through. And please, if you want to, as always, ask questions and do all of that. And then make sure you go follow Taylor, even though she has so many more followers than myself. She's
You know
more
what?
well known than I am.
I think we should talk about how like when it all first started and how how I started helping you out with your ministry stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So,
Go
I
ahead.
think it was, I honestly think it was in the lobby of your dorm, me, you, and the guys. We were in the lobby of your dorm, and I was telling you guys, 'cause I was a freshman at this point, and I was telling you guys like what I wanted to do, and I was telling you, I wanted to do a lot of like management. And at the time, I think you had one of your family members doing it for you, whatever. And you had texted me one day randomly. It's like, do you think you can help me with this? And I was like, sure. Like, this is something that I want to do anyway, so it would be cool to, kind of get some practice in. So I think that's where it all started. And like, it's been what, like two
Yeah,
years?
be like 2 years.
Yeah, I
I
think it was like 2 years. It's been a minute. It's been a
it's
minute, but it's honestly been like super simple, super easy. Like I don't think we've ever had any like major problems with anything. Um,
and if there was
yeah.
a problem, it was me and not you. Most,
I don't think there was any like I
but
don't think
we've
there were
never
any
had
major.
any like
Yeah.
major problems ever. Like it's been super great. Like
Yeah.
so, it's crazy that you bring that up because at the time when I met Taylor, I was like preaching, but I wasn't
Hmm.
known or anything like that. Quote unquote, as I am today or
Right.
whatever. And like I feel like she just saw something in me bigger than myself, than
Oh
I saw
yeah.
myself.
Definitely.
And so like when I had asked her, I was super nervous because I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna say yes because I know she want to manage artists and like I'm not an artist and nobody knows me.
Nobody
So I
knows
just
me.
right. So I just
No.
sent a text and I was like, we gonna see what happens and what comes of this. And it's been like the greatest thing. Like Taylor not only is like does the administrative stuff, but she pushes me and be like, you need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to
Yeah.
do this. And I think that's a large part of why I am where I am today.
Yeah.
Why I am where I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think like oftentimes we kind of like downplay the power of friendship and the power of people who are around you because I mean, like you said, I had a family member that was helping me out that was just kind of doing like little stuff, but didn't quite have the vision
Right.
to like really fuel my fire, if you will, fuel what I wanted
Right.
to do. And so, like that's been just a blessing. And so publicly with all 14 people, 15 people in
Oh
my church
God.
right now, my storefront, I say thank you. Like, because honestly, who knew that, we would be where we are today? And I
Right.
said we because like as much as you watched me grow, I watched you grow as well.
Right.
And so it's like, who really knew? And so it kind of just grew to this thing like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And so now again, like I say, when I show up to places to preach or whatever I'm doing, speaking, everybody's like, "Where's Taylor? Sister Taylor."
Listen.
That's what they call it, Sister Taylor.
I try my best not to embarrass you. I try my best to make sure you're good when you get
Yeah.
there. So I think one thing that really helps us with this partnership is our communication. Like you said, what that's how it's supposed to be. Also humble. That's why. Yeah. I think one thing that communication piece is very important for us. And even though we are friends, we also understand that, Josh is so annoying. He's distracting me.
Gosh, I
We
miss
also
you.
understand, right? We also understand the seriousness behind all of this. So, when we have those conversations, like, Taylor, I need you to do this, that, and the third. I'm never like, why is she talking to me like that? Like, no, because I understand, like, this is your ministry, and I have to make sure that, we are upholding the standard. So I think that communication piece, like, you can text me anytime of night and, like, Taylor, can you send this in the morning and something like that? I'm like, cool, first thing in the morning, that's what I do. So yeah, I think that communication piece.
Yeah, the communication piece and the respect factor too, because
Right,
I think oftentimes, especially because we both are young, like we
right.
started doing this like kids. I mean, we're quote unquote older
No,
now,
really.
but we were
I didn't
children.
know what I was
Like,
doing. I was just sending emails. I was using what I learned from LAP. I was like, okay, they tell me to do this, that, and the third. I'm gonna put this in the email, and I'm gonna work it like that.
that's the thing. Like, we were kids doing this at Hampton. I mean,
Yeah.
like 19, 18, doing like talking to major churches. We didn't even know like
Listen.
who these people were. And so, crazy thing is, oh, and I got to get hit on this respect part.
Uh-huh.
So we've grown with it. So I understand like our commitments are different. Like,
Right.
Taylor has other things that she's committed to. So every time I am, oh, thank you, Academy of Preachers, man, that was a great, great, great time.
That's Mr. Howard over there.
Oh, right, Mr. Howard. So you good people, Academy of Preachers. No. Yeah, so it was like, I respect her time. So I understand that things are time sensitive, and she gets that. We don't have a problem with that. And she'll get
Mm.
on me. Like, if I'm lax and, not following through with stuff, she'll get on me. And so it's a respect thing. Like,
Right.
there's no demanding around here. We don't do demands.
Right.
I
Right.
need
Right.
you, when you get a chance and stuff like
Right.
that. And so I say that because we've grown up in this thing. Like, we are now, but we were kids. I think, oftentimes in ministry, we make moves based on demand, right? So,
Yeah.
and I use demand now in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I asked Taylor to do that, it was because I was receiving a plethora of invites that I
Yeah.
could no longer really manage it myself and make
Mm-hmm.
sure that it was running efficiently. And so I think oftentimes because young preachers, want to be grand or want to have an administrator or want to do these things, that the dynamic can go left quickly because you think
Yeah.
that you have, a little bit more power than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But we were friends first, but then also the business dynamic is solid because I respect her as a woman and as
Yeah.
someone who just does not do this all day.
Right.
Like, she's, as I said, she's overly qualified. And so it just is what it is. But it's funny because I got to tell this story. They're going to
Oh
laugh.
God.
So really, when I tell you it matters who's in your ear, and please, y'all, don't take this the wrong way or out of context of us being grand. This is literally, again, out of demand. I was doing this because my life was moving in a point that I kind of needed it. So I want to talk about the Megabus for a second, because
Oh yes, I wanted to speak on that, but I didn't know, how this was going. But good thing you're bringing it
yeah,
up.
chime in
Cool.
whenever, because I think a lot of people see so much from the outside, or
Yeah.
oh, okay, she got somebody doing this or that. Taylor was working or helping me when I was taking the Megabus. Okay, the
The
Megabus.
Megabus.
So
I couldn't even believe that, honestly. I couldn't even believe it. I was so confused because I was just when she told I was like, they're sending you on a Megabus.
it was,
Huh?
and it was all me trying
You
to
asked for that?
right, trying to be super humble. And what happened was, like, so basically I had received an invite to, like, actually a major church. I didn't even know that it was major at the time. I remember, I love stories like this because it keeps you humble. But I remember being on the Megabus. First of all, Taylor was super mad that I even caught it. And I was watching actually one of my favorite preachers, like my favorite preachers, preaching at a 7 Last Word service. And I was going to preach at a service that I didn't even know was as quote unquote big of a deal as it was. And I remember watching this service, and I'm on the bus. First of all, it's late at night because I will always travel after class. So even now, I always travel a lot late. Taylor doesn't like that either sometimes, but I
Oh,
had to make it work. So I'm on the Megabus watching this service, like, preachers, we be into it. And all of a sudden, the bus stops in the middle of the woods. And I'm like, I'm like, yo,
Mike
what is
Ely,
happening? And I
you
promise
called
y'all,
us.
it was in the middle of the woods, and the bus broke down, and I had to preach the next morning or midday or whatever. I can't remember. I think it was midday. And like my granddad had to come and rescue me because I was on the Megabus. And from that day, I have never stepped foot on a Megabus again. And it's not because, well, actually, no, yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have only for one reason. Is Erica still on here?
Oh Lord.
No,
Story time. No, we're gonna
right.
leave that one alone.
Right, but no, I say that humbly. I have like PTSD because the bus broke down, like, and so I
We
say
had
that
to come and
to say
pick you
that
up.
Taylor will never let me do that ever again. And I was
It was
just doing
so
it because
crazy.
that's all. When you don't know any better, you don't do better, right? So you have to
I
have
was
people
like, at least they
around
could
you.
get you an Amtrak ticket or something. That's the least. And that's the thing. It wasn't even them. It was you. You was trying to be so humble. Like, I would just take the bus. You might as well walk. You really might as well walk.
I'm laughing, y'all, but I earned the right to laugh at this. I really earned the right to laugh at this because I just didn't know any better. So I'm on the Megabus going to preach like at this major engagement that I had no clue that it was quote unquote major. And it broke down, and I learned my lesson. And I was like, never again. And I mean, if I had listened to Taylor, I wouldn't be in that predicament. So
But now you don't
that's
have to deal with
like,
that anymore.
right, yeah, no more of that. I can't. So just
No more
forgive
Megabus.
me. I can't
Somebody
do
put
it.
hashtag no more Megabus.
Listen, God is taking you to a season where you're not
Oh
gonna have to
Lord.
rely on the Megabus. Now the thing
Oh
is, I will
Lord.
hop on Amtrak. Now I do Amtrak faithfully
There's
because it
nothing
just
wrong with
makes
Amtrak.
for right. It just makes sense for like being in Jersey,
Yeah,
especially coming to the DMV. The airport is an hour away,
right.
and it's like a $70 Uber. So a lot of people don't really know. I guess I could go into that too. Like when
Yeah.
I'm at school, um, if I am to fly, which I do quite often, I mean, of course not now because quarantine. Rest in
Right.
peace to all of that.
Everything.
But but I mean, it's an hour for me to get to the airport to Newark or Philly, either one. I'm going an hour away, and then I'm catching a train there for an hour, and then like catching another small train to get to the terminal. So it's a tedious process, and
Yeah.
it's a lot, but it's worth it, in the end, of course. Um, but yeah, so y'all know the glory behind my story, the Megabus.
Listen, that will never get old. That will
Never.
never get old. I
Man,
can remember it like it was yesterday. You called us and Mike
I
Ely, we
think
all
y'all
hopped
came
in
to
Mike
get
Ely's little white Honda. Yeah, we did.
yes, y'all
We
came to
came and
get
picked
me
you up from the middle of
before my
nowhere.
granddad came to
Yes.
right. So that's what happened. It's all coming back. It's like
Yep.
nostalgia. So it broke down, and I remember being in the 7-Eleven. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm supposed to be preaching in like a
Oh,
few
not my
hours.
light.
Oh, and I,
Where'd my light go?
oh Lord,
Yikes.
did it fall down? Mine does that
No,
too.
I have it plugged into my computer.
Oh, oh,
Hold
oh,
on. It's coming back. Go ahead. We gonna
oh,
get it back
okay.
on.
So, yeah, I remember being in the 7-Eleven. Like, I got to preach in a few hours. I'm stranded in the middle, and this was the woods, y'all. I don't even know what part of Virginia this was, but if
I
anybody
think it
knows
was like
anything
Williamsburg
about
or something.
right, if you know anything about like Southern Virginia, you just don't want to be in the woods at night. Like you just don't. I mean, Charleston, all of the you just no, you just don't want to be in the woods. Not Charleston. That's okay.
I don't know where that
I'm glad
is.
that.
That's North Carolina, so I
That's
don't
right.
know.
But anyway, you understand what I'm saying. So, right, I had to send the location because I didn't know where I was. And so Mike came and rescued me, and my granddad had to pick me up and take me to Baltimore the next day. I mean, that night. I didn't know anything about hotel accommodations. I didn't know anything
Right.
about any of that
That's
shit.
another thing.
Like, we
That's
was
another
really,
thing. You
Mine,
live in you live in Maryland, but you live in Waldorf, and that's across town. That's a whole nother
that's a
city. That's
flight.
a whole nother state right there. And you would be staying at your house and having to preach in Baltimore, and you would have to drive that an hour and a half every
Right.
Sunday, and the service started at 8 o'clock in the morning. So
I was
you
just
had
doing
to.
stuff. Like I was just doing stuff. I
Because
would
here's the
be
thing:
like preaching three
a lot
times
of
a
times,
day.
right, and then have to drive 2 hours back home. And the thing about it is like these churches would not mind, you know, making sure that you were good. It's just about asking, and a lot of times I
Right.
think we dealt with that. Like, let's just ask and see what they say,
Right.
and
And that came for us came from us really just growing up in this thing
right,
and knowing like okay, you just have to ask and it's not being grand, it's
right,
being more
right,
accommodating and just making it make sense if you will.
right.
But then I think that also came from you having a level of expertise, from your dad and kind of
Hmm.
seeing how you all hosted people and
Yeah,
all of that stuff. And I had no knowledge of that. When I tell y'all I started like I just I didn't know anything. Like I just was
it
on
kind of
the
all
road for
happened like
dummies.
really fast, all at one time.
And that's the
Like,
thing. Right. I think that's the thing that blows my mind. Like all
mhm.
of this took off like I can't even pinpoint, well I can pinpoint it, but just how fast it was from like
Yeah,
junior year to senior year, it was just overnight
yeah.
and
Definitely overnight. So we had to learn quickly. We had to adapt quickly because it was just becoming a lot. Not that we couldn't handle it, it was just becoming a lot. Like, okay, we need to kind of step up a little bit more. So
right.
yeah,
And I think that's important, like for anybody who's watching, young preacher or somebody who's trying to not trying to be in ministry, but you are gaining maybe some engagements or whatever. I don't know how to really
yeah,
the terminology behind it. But to definitely step your game up, make sure you put your best foot forward because people take you seriously that way. I know Taylor is really good at the administrative and sending the emails and wording.
mm-hmm.
She's excellent. Like I have no worries. I don't look at anything she sends. So when y'all
Mm-hmm.
like send stuff, I don't see it. She sees
Right.
it all. And when she sends stuff, I'll give a gist of what it's about. But
Mm-hmm.
I trust her to the fact that you got this. And so
It
I
came
think
from a
that
lot of Googling, a lot of
right.
Google, a
Oh,
lot of Google.
that's
How
fine.
do you sing?
That's
How
fine.
do you say this in a professional way?
And I think that's important though, because so many times we want people to take us seriously or we
Yeah.
want the certain kind of notoriety, if you will, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't have the wording or we don't have the level of expertise to execute in
Mm-hmm.
that manner. And I think people honor that. And I know ultimately for me, I know that God honors excellence. Now, I am quote unquote somewhat like an overachiever in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So, when people ask me to do stuff, I'm always gonna over execute. And I know
Right.
that Taylor is she's in that
Right.
same vein. So it's important to have people who have your vision. Similar to like any leader who has someone following or helping. You want people who have your vision. You don't want people, if you oh, that's a great question. We're gonna get to that. If you are someone who does stuff in excellence, you don't want people who have grammatical errors in your emails and messing up stuff. You don't want all of that. Like that's just
Yeah.
not it. And so, even like for example, the video I just sent Taylor for ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me, I did the video, but I'm gonna also go through and edit it and add some extra. Like I'm that type of person. I'm
Yeah.
A type. As one of my mentors says, and even Dr. Steph, some of y'all follow her. I'm A type, so it's like I just have to have stuff right.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, we represent God, but then we represent institutions. Taylor has a degree from Hampton. I have a degree from Hampton. And then Princeton, and
Right.
like you don't want to be telling people you go to X, Y, and Z, and your stuff look like what? Like this
Yeah.
don't make sense.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. But okay, how does ministry change with maturity? That's a great question. Um, it comes through. That's a loaded question.
Very.
Now,
I'm like, you go ahead and answer that.
yeah, that's a loaded question. I want you to. I'm gonna start talking, but come back with like more specific, like the minutia of that question. go into that.
That's a good
Because it's a little something. No. But like, are you saying from the administrative side, or how me and Taylor have learned? Are you saying ministry as in me preaching, or, I don't know. I'm on staff at a church too, so that could be, I don't know. But I think the maturity part is learning, and mentorship also has helped me when I didn't have questions. I had people to ask, because as I stated before, I came into this and stuff happened for me so quick. I didn't have a paradigm to follow. I was just out there doing stuff. And so even some of the things that I explained to my mentor to this day, she'd be like, like, this is how you can curtail this, or this is how you can tighten this area up, or just to be in service to God, unto God. Oh, well, in that vein, I think that maturity, as you grow, you know better, you learn better. So in your service to God specifically, as you grow in the word, you have more maturity as you grow in Christ, in your prayer life, and all of those things. And I think also as you listen to the voice of God, you learn, your direction and your directives. And that's actually what I talked about in the video today that I sent. But back to like what I was saying before, sorry y'all. I think that, just us growing up in this thing, there were certain things and certain questions I had to ask in order to know better. As I matured, or as I reached a certain level, certain quote unquote platforms come with different protocols. For example, you don't go to a denominational conference without knowing who to call before you preach. One of my mentors told me, before you go and preach at a Church of God in Christ event, you should ask specifically for who are the leaders that you need to address, who are the key leaders, and things like that, that helps you be respectful, helps you follow protocol, and all of those types of things like that. And then not just Church of God in Christ, but any denomination or any place, you always want to address leadership in the house that you're in, any business event, you want to be courteous, any of that. So I think that's how I have matured, and I have learned how to really navigate these spaces. Even when I was in Nashville this summer, there were certain things that I would explain to my mentor. I would tell him, this is what I do. And he would say, but this is how you can make it better. And so those are ways that you learn. Yeah. If there are any more questions, please feel free to drop them down there, because I think this is helpful. I think this is definitely helpful for people. Yeah. And I think even now, like, I'll be honest, and then Taylor, you can jump in. I've kind of like shifted my mindset. So ministry for me is always great. Like, that's something that has always been in my heart. I know I'm called to that. I know I'm called to preaching. I know I'm called to, first, academics, all of that. I'm called to equip myself. But I'm always kind of curious about, stretching into other avenues, other speaking circuits, and business. It's definitely something that I love. So I kind of diversify myself, if that makes sense. I think that's important.
Yeah.
It's definitely important. Now that we're in a pandemic, right? Because there is no circuit, there's no preaching. There's preaching. Like, people have asked me to do certain revivals and stuff like that via whatever. But in the event that this is not always stable, you have to have some type of income that's not attached to that. That is probably one of the best pieces of advice that I would give you all, is to be ambidextrous, to be able to use your left and your right hand, to be strong beyond one area. I'm not gonna get into that because I'll start preaching. But yeah, that's important. Yeah,
no, but like you were saying, like that time, or that period of time when we kind of transitioned into your clothing brand, and how you handled that while you went to while you was at different speaking engagements. That was a new thing for us, because we had to ask a lot. You can't just show up to these places with your with your merch and say, I have stuff to sell. They're like, no, ma'am, you're not selling nothing over here.
Not in my church,
not in my church, you're not. So that was a new space that we had to kind of work with. But with communication, everything was fine. Like it was easy.
Right. And I think that's a respect thing too of
Yeah.
making sure you know how to ask, about the clothing line
Right.
and selling products and things of that nature. One day I'll write a book and I'll have books to sell.
Right.
And so things like that,
Waiting
but
on
you got to
that
be
day.
respectful. Right, right. You got to be respectful.
That
So
idea has already been thrown out there
I
such a
say,
long time ago.
watch out. Let me pull my iPad.
Coming
So
soon.
for those of you who are watching, the book is in here. It's in here. It's just a
Just gotta
matter
put
of
it out
getting
there.
it printed.
Right.
It's being written. My story, it's in here. Um, that's been a joy too. That's been a joy too. I think also like having people around you who are accomplished really helps as well, because
Yeah.
there are so many things that I probably would have never tapped into had I not had a paradigm to look at of people who were accomplished around me. There's like, okay, you can't just be out here on the road just thinking that's all you're gonna do. You got to have some type of other works to show forth, and so I think that's important as well. Yep.
And also, for me, like you said, having that group of people around us, I'm not opposed to hearing advice from other people that, are accomplished. We sit at tables and they say, this is what you guys should be doing, or, this is how you guys should be doing it. And I'm like, I'm open to it because you guys have already been there. So you know. So, and like you said, we're both still learning. So it's all a learning process, but I think we're in a good space, and we've always been in a good space, but we're taking a step up every time.
Absolutely. And I think that's so important. You talk about taking it a step up because there's
Mm-hmm.
always room for improvement. Like
Right.
the moment you feel like you have arrived or you stay in that place, that's
Yeah.
when it's like detriment. Like that's the death. That's the funeral
Right.
right there. You plateau and you feel like there's nothing you can learn, nothing you can do. It's so important. I think like young preachers have to realize that your gift is just not it. Like this
Mm-hmm.
whole moment that you just, okay, I'm getting calls, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. That's not all there is to life. There is more, that I believe even God is requiring of us. Like there's more to this. This is not just seasonal. This is not just something, we don't live in one season, but we
Right.
should always be progressing, reaching
Right.
higher heights. Like I talked about it in the video that I sent. I keep making
Mm-hmm.
reference because I don't know, God just has me on this thing like cast your net, cast your net. Like, there's so much more. Like the disciples were discouraged because they weren't catching any fish. It's like, I just can't catch any fish.
Yeah.
And God gave one directive: go to the right side of the boat, cast your net, and then behold, the Bible says that they had so many fish that they could not haul in.
Right.
And so I just believe in being multidimensional and making sure that you put yourself in a space where you can grow. So someone said, "Did you ever have any fear of preaching?" The reading question I'm gonna get to in a second. You ever have any fear of preaching? Yes, of course. I still get scared to this day. Like I will text Taylor and I'll be like, I'm so nervous. Like, I mean, to this day, it just is what it is. I think you always have a level of fear, but
Right.
I know the directive of your question is more so, was I ever like in the primary stages of just not wanting to get up or being scared to go? Of course. As we talked about in the beginning of the live, and those of you who just joined, I would really beckon you to go back and watch it, because I think there's some very powerful things that were said. But I was cast into literally a quote unquote stage or circuit or platform that was beyond anyone who had just started. So I would get scared because I was preaching with people who were well capable, as we would say in the church, like, beyond my years, beyond my expertise. So I know I had to really rely on God, like, Lord, you're gonna have to help me because I'm out here with the quote unquote heavy hitters. I'm like, whoa. So yeah, I've had a fear. Even my initial sermon, I was scared. I was like, Lord, you're gonna have to speak through me because all these people. So and it's weird. I think my mentor said something powerful the other day. She was on live and she was saying how preaching just kind of came natural. And so I think preaching comes natural to me, but I will never not have fearful moments. Like I would never, because first of all, one, I fear God, so I think that's the most important thing. I want to make sure, Lord, when I go out here and preach to these people, that they're not saying me, but ultimately that I'm making you proud. Like that's my ultimate goal. But then second, you have natural fear, just fear of large crowds, large platforms, places that you don't feel um adequate enough to be in, spaces that you don't feel good enough to be in. All of those things come into play. So I definitely get fearful. Garner T. Taylor, where one not nervous before they preach, finding something else to do. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree. I'm sitting here playing my little brother's little thing. But I think this has been really good, Taylor. I mean, I don't know if you want to add anything else in, or if anyone has any other questions.
It's been very impromptu. It was an impromptu session. I think it went over.
Definitely impromptu. Because I text Taylor like 20 minutes before this just to see if she was busy.
I just finished eating my crab legs.
Oh, that's funny. We had seafood today too. We had
it was really good.
Shrimp. Oh, come on, crab legs.
Did y'all just get on? No, we've been on here for a little minute. How has this journey with Diamond impacted you? Oh, outside of what, Arthur Butler?
Awesome.
I guess I can speak on that a little bit. Another reason why, I think you always talk about this, Diamond. Like the first time we met was, I think, in front of the Chick-fil-A in the stew. But then after that, I think the guys I was with the guys and they were doing something. And so they was like, go to Diamond's room or whatever, and we'll come back and get y'all or whatever. So I came there and, I was asking for a Spanish book. And then you had said, I had asked you, what is it like being a female in ministry, and in school, because that was new to me. I had never really seen that. So I think that's how it all started. And I don't think I've ever told you this before, but, one main reason why I accepted this assignment with you is so that I could be, so that I can be or gain a greater relationship with God. And you was like that example. So I was like, well, let me, follow her a little bit just so that I can see, how she does it. So it's been like really, really helpful, just so that I can see a good example. Why are you looking like that?
Arthur, what are you doing?
We're
trying to have a serious moment, Arthur. Okay, type it again. Type it again, and
he keeps typing the same thing. I was getting confused by that too. How has the journey impacted with Diamond impact? What? Arthur.
I don't know.
Nothing is coming out right. Yeah, it's not. But really, like, that was another reason why I was like, this will be good for me. It's a good space for me so that I can see how you do it, and, that I could do it too, I guess. So, yeah. Butler on that.
That's actually crazy that you say that, because Butler's on that stuff. Yes,
right.
Yes, he is. Always bless him. Everybody go follow Arthur Butler, and he's going to launch some stuff. You want to be a part of that? Go follow him, and Mike too. Make sure you follow Taylor. I only have 8 people in my storefront cathedral right now, but I have more people. So when they go back and watch it, they will follow y'all. But no, that's crazy you say that, Taylor, because I always feel like in a lot of ways you encourage me. So even though you're younger than me by a little bit, I mean, it's not like I'm so much more older, but I feel like you are so helpful and have been so mature in my life, like that I've relied on you to help me through certain stuff. So that's like, that really means a lot. But that's crazy because I just feel like as much as you're saying that, you have definitely helped me in the same way. And so I think that's why it kind of just works. I'm going to grieve the day when, like, we don't do this anymore, because I'm like, I guess I'll just pack all this ministry stuff up and forget about it, because who's going to do this? Like,
but that's the thing. Like, I can kind of speak on this. Like, this doesn't take up a lot of my time. Like, it's not something that I'm like, all right, I can't juggle with, I was in school full time. And, senior year, all that stuff was happening, but you never, like, put so much on me that I couldn't balance it with my schoolwork. So that's another thing. Like it'll never be an issue where I cannot balance this and something else. Like now I'm not out of school. I'm not really doing anything. So I have more than enough time to kind of put my focus towards, pushing you and making sure that everything with your ministry is on point. But, when other things happen, I don't think it'll ever be like, oh, this is beginning to be too much. Because it's never that. It's never that. So,
it's funny when you were saying that, I heard co-pastor Susie Owens in the back of my head saying,
Lord.
if you want somebody that's going to do full-time work, you need to pay them a full-time salary.
That's my
you said that one time. And it's true, though. Like, I mean, of course, I pay Taylor, and I think that's also important.
Which I don't know why she does. I appreciate it.
We're going to be watching and trying to get Taylor to handle your stuff. You're going to come correct, okay? First of all, but she's working with me, but she don't belong to me. She belongs to the Lord. So if she's led of the Lord, then, that's how we do it. But I think
can only do one person at a time. Right now, I can only handle one person at a time.
No, I get it. But I think that's important to kind of put out there, because I think sometimes we put so much demand on people, and it's like you pay me to do all this stuff, maybe. So yeah, I definitely try to be cognizant of that, because I too am in school, and I understand that struggle, because what would it be for me to be out here preaching and all this stuff, and it's weighing on your school? That would be so dumb. That would be so dumb.
Right.
Yeah, so if anybody else has any questions, you could ask them, but we don't
what else
take
could I
up
add
all
on?
of the time. I appreciate you, Taylor, first of all, for even taking the time to come to my live.
I have nothing else to do.
Come up, because we have 8 members now, but at one point we had over 20 members.
Right.
And, but we don't count. Sorry, my phone was about to die.
Uh-oh.
We don't count the viewers now. We count after this is over. That's how I measure. That's my metric for my ministry, my church.
Right.
That's a joke. Okay, some of y'all gonna go back and tell people I started church on Instagram.
Right, it went right over their heads.
Let me kill that. Okay, so screen record this part 2, and you screen record the other part. Screen record the part where I said it was false.
Right. Diamond Gantt is starting a church.
Y'all ain't gotta worry about
pandemic.
that. Don't worry about that. It's a lot of churches that started during this pandemic, though. But
I saw.
Not me.
What's another
the gospel
thing?
talent. Hey,
I'm trying to think. What else could I? Oh, a lot of times when it comes to the communication with these ministries, I always, and sometimes I feel like I'm asking too much, but I always ask you every little detail, because I want to make sure that, I don't want them to ask me, what type of water does she like? And then I tell them, oh, she likes Deer Park. Like
Deer Park.
If
I get to the pulpit, there's Deer Park.
So it's like little stuff like that. Like, what type of water. I feel like sometimes it's just like too little to ask, but it's never too little to ask, because I want you to make sure when you get there, you have everything that, you kind of want. So sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe I'm asking too much. But I don't think it's ever asking too much.
Not at all. I never feel like that. I think, you have to ask these questions, because stuff is so, churches are so in depth with what they ask. We had so many questions. I feel like that's a component, but we don't really have time to go through all the questions that, not crazy, but the questions that have been asked. And it's all, of course, to be accommodating and to show great hospitality. But the make and model of the car, that's the first time I even learned what kind of car I had and the exact color, because they were asking what color it is. So all of those questions are super important, and I never feel like it's overwhelming. I just, because I understand you're doing it because that's what they're asking.
Right.
So but thank you, Taylor, for joining this live. I feel
no problem.
I want to ask you on here so that I'm not annoying when we get off. I really think this conversation should go to Facebook. I've been waiting for the conversation that I would take to Facebook. Primarily because Facebook is weird. I don't know. Does anybody else in my 9-member church, do y'all feel like Facebook has a different vibe? I just feel like sometimes it's extra. It could be the type of people I have on there too.
Right.
Like I
I
have a
think
lot of
that's
older
really
people on my. It just gives a different vibe, not a negative vibe, but it's so serious, and I'm just
it's
like,
a different world, honestly. Facebook and
I'm not
Instagram is a different world. So.
Yeah, Facebook is like corporate America.
Yeah,
and I'm just like
definitely.
not here for it. Like,
I think we
drink
should.
too
I
much.
think we should take this to Facebook.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we should. We maybe tomorrow, like
Let's do it.
definitely exposure. Yeah, and then we'll have kind of time to think about it because I think it's important that people hear this side because everyone sees the glamour and the
Right.
everything, but they don't really hear all of the minutia that goes into this life and this work. Because it is work. It is work. Yes, you should.
Definitely.
Yeah. Maybe when I do it
think
on
we
Facebook,
should, Mr. Howard.
I know,
don't
Mr. Howard been on here.
This could be
You've
a whole
been in my
pastor
11
bishop.
member church since we started. You are a charter member.
This could
You
be a
are.
whole pastor or bishop, and I keep calling him. I am so sorry. I keep calling him Mr. Howard.
Oh Lord, sorry. We honor you.
I am so sorry. I don't know. I'm just Lord.
We could talk about some of the stories of going to these churches. Now that, well, we will have to invite in another guest.
Listen.
But I think I should. And I think even when I do it, I'll maybe put it on YouTube or something. So I'll put it on my YouTube channel. So everybody should follow my YouTube or go to my YouTube channel, Diamond J Gantt. And I'll do it from like both avenues because I think there'll be good content.
Definitely.
So yeah, let's do this on Facebook tomorrow. Maybe I'll put a little flyer out, put your face on it, Taylor.
Let me get my pictures together. Let me get my pictures together.
So I be telling Taylor when she get her ministry engagements that I'm gonna handle her books.
Oh God!
But the thing is, I don't know if I'm as good at it as she is. Like you have to know your strengths and weaknesses.
I don't get ministry engagements. Okay. I don't.
I think I can handle it. You know. But this has been great. This has been good.
Fun.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm going to actually leave this one up. I don't often do that, but I think it's worth for people to go and watch it. So, yes, I will see you all later. And thank you again, Taylor. Make sure y'all up. I got 12 members in my church.
Do both IG and Facebook. Yep.
Because she has some wonderful opportunities. Y'all talk about getting rich. Yeah, that's
God.
The rest of us are trying to make it. She get ready to be Cash Money Records for real. Cash Money Records. Doing it for the 2000s. Okay?
Oh God. This has been fun.
So they asked me to put this shirt on my website, and it's crazy because I really felt like I didn't. I never put this one on there. I just had it made. And everybody, when I started the live, was like, oh, you need to put that one on there. I'm like, okay, so y'all really like this? Yeah, follow Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
To tune in. I'm crying. Javon, I got to call you because I listened to your podcast today, too. You did an excellent job. You did a great job. I listened on my drive home. Yeah, so everybody asked me about this shirt. I'm like, okay, let me put this on there. Go check out my new item that's on there. I think it's really dope. I want to hear y'all's feedback, my 11 members that's here. And follow Taylor. And I will see you all next time. Make sure you come on Facebook. So we're going to take this over to Facebook tomorrow. So see y'all then.